Bruh, they really expect us to believe this. This 21-year-old student named Trey Reed at the Delta State University was found hanging from a tree on the campus, y'all. And the first thing they say was no foul play suspected. How did they come up with that conclusion so fast? I'm lost. Think about it, y'all. This is not out in the woods, y'all. This happened right on the campus, near the pickleball courts, right where everybody walks. A lot of traffic, high traffic. So you mean to tell me no one seen or heard anything?
Where's the outrage from the media, politicians, literally anyone about Trey Reed, a black man who was lynched by white supremacists on a Mississippi college campus? And the police immediately said that it was a suicide? Because, black people just have a natural propensity to hang themselves from trees. Those weren't racial terror lynchings by the KKK from the Reconstruction era through Jim Crow. It was just an epidemic of public suicides. And we can't ignore the fact that this happened shortly after the Charlie Kirk shooting, when HBCUs had to shut down and go on lockdown because of threats. Even though it was a fascist, groyper white dude who killed Charlie Kirk. The media, politicians, the entire far right, and liberal influencers and politicians who bought into this hysteria around Charlie Kirk are directly responsible for Trey Reed's death. And unfortunately, this is just the beginning of a new era of far-right terror.
The one thing that they're not mentioning is that his arms and his legs were broken. They found him with his arms and his legs broken, strange fruited from a tree. And this happened 3 days after Charlie Kirk passed away. And all the far-right Trump supporters said that they want to take their country back and fight against everybody. After a far-right racist white man unalived another far-right racist white man, a black man gets dealt the consequences for it. And we're worried about having people lose their jobs because they had their opinion about a racist white man that died. Meanwhile, we're still getting strange fruited for existing. Our HBCUs are getting threatened to get boomed for existing. This political climate, man.
Family, something mysterious is happening right now in America. 21-year-old Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Mississippi. Funny enough, there is also another person who was found hanging in different timing, in the same state of Mississippi. And family, people are raising questions. Why is this happening exactly a week after the death of Charlie Kirk? What is happening to black Americans? They were saying that the guy, hanged himself and that was a suicide mission. But at the same time, they found out that the very 21-year-old Trey Reed was found with the legs broken. How would somebody with a broken leg climb a tree, and hang himself? There's a lot of questions that many people are asking and questioning the government of the United States of America, including the media, not giving this issue airtime. The issue hasn't been, posted by the American media, and this is just asking a lot of questions. And we've seen many Americans react to the same. Many of them are offended and want the questions to be answered. What is happening right now in America? What did these two black men do wrong to the government or to the people who murdered them? So family, I want you to watch this video as Americans react to the same. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this video together, family.
Someone with a brain, please explain to me why they're not talking about the 21-year-old black student that was just found hanging at a college campus. 7 a.m. Monday morning, a student found an African-American 21-year-old hanging from a tree at Delta State University. DSU has canceled classes and all campus activity after the discovery of the student's body was found near the center of campus. Authorities said the 21-year-old Trey Reed of Grenadad was found hanging from a tree near the university's pickleball court. Fellow African American students are requesting to know what happened. Because I am a black student, hearing that happened to another black student, it really makes me feel unsafe. Another student was quoted saying, "I have to walk to class and I have to walk down the track. It would be nice to know what actually happened." Student's family is begging for transparency. Please do your own research on this. Do not let them sweep anything under the rug. Enough is enough. But no further information has been given. An initial report saying that he had a broken leg, they will not back any of that information up. So what actually happens to the black student they found hanging this morning at a university campus?
Yesterday morning, Monday morning, there were 2 black men that were hung by a tree. Neither one of them is getting national media attention, and neither one of them is being investigated properly. But neither one of them was a fucking suicide. Trey Reed was found at Delta State University. His cousin has stated that he was found with 2 broken arms and a broken leg, and he was beaten. And they are saying that there was no foul play. And then Corey Zucatis, apologies if I'm pronouncing that last name wrong, was found near a Mirastar casino, both of them being in Mississippi. And for Corey as well, they're saying that no foul play has been found. You're telling me there's no fucking cameras? On a college campus, there's no cameras? Huh? And this is what folks mean when they say Charlie Kirk's fucking words are violent, are fucking dangerous. Because the second after that no gum ass bitch died, the folks on the right are targeting HBCUs, targeting black people. And then a couple days later, 2 black men are hung by a fucking tree. Coinky dink? I think the fuck not. But say their fucking names because we know the media outlets won't. With them labeling these lynchings as self-inflicted suicide, they won't need to report it ever again. They won't have to bring it into the national fucking media outlets. The story will become dead and no justice will be served because these are not suicides.
Delta State University found the body of a black student hanging from a tree in which they're claiming this man with a broken leg now, y'all, climbed up in the tree, tied himself to a branch and hung himself. Bull motherfucking shit. I call foul play like many others on social media right now. You mean to tell me during the 100-year anniversary, and no, Delta State is not a HBCU, but I'm still calling foul play because that man's leg was broke. Then y'all talking about it's an active investigation. Boy, all them cameras around campus, and this the first thing y'all gonna claim y'all ain't see. Y'all could see everything the fuck else, but today, y'all don't know who, what, when, where, and how. Bullshit, you heard me? Now, as I send my condolences out to that young man's family and all the students of Delta University, we must not turn a blind eye to this situation. Let's rally around this unfortunate event as we get down to the bottom of this because they're not off the hook. I don't care if y'all cancel classes. I don't care what other distractions y'all try to come up with. Today, we will find out what happened to that young man. Yeah, the internet detectives are on y'all ass.
2 men found hanging in Mississippi just around hours apart. No confirmed cause yet, but the closeness in time and place has people asking questions, and rightfully so. One was a 21-year-old college student on campus, the other a middle-aged homeless man near a casino, both black, both discovered in public settings. Authorities say there's no current evidence of foul play in the first case. But with histories of racial violence in headlines, many are skeptical or worried, and rightfully so. Investigation matters, autopsy matters, transparency matters, because when death happen like this, people need to believe we're getting the truth. So if you know someone in those communities, if you believe we deserve answers, just comment. And I hope we're going to hear more about these cases in upcoming hours and days.
A 21-year-old black student at the University of Delta in Mississippi was found hung from a tree yesterday after multiple HBCUs had to be shut down due to threats. Black students were receiving threats while Dean Withers is on here crying and motherfucking Leo Skeppy are talking about someone who was spreading rhetoric and hate. Let's stand up and cry for the 21-year-old boy who was found hung by the pickleball court at his fucking college and no one's talking about it. Not only did they try to say that this 21-year-old boy unalived himself, and the medical coroner is denying any calls from people trying to get this death investigated, but he was found swinging on campus by his neck where he was lynched, and they're not doing anything about it. I apologize because I am so angry, but let's get into the details of what happened to this 21-year-old boy that they are trying to say committed suicide yesterday on his campus. I find it very interesting that his body was found on the morning of the centennial of this school at the University of Delta in Mississippi, where it is quite obvious they wanted this young man to be found swinging from a tree as he was. The university is trying to cover this up as a suicide, which I do not fucking believe, but let's keep going. The Delta State University Police Chief Michael L. Peeler said during a press conference that 21-year-old student Damar Travion, or Trey, like Trayvon fucking Martin, Reed committed suicide on the Cleveland campus Monday, September 15th, which I do not buy at all. At approximately 7:05 a.m., University Police notified of what appears to be the body of a black male hanging from a tree on Central Campus. He was in the middle of campus. They're saying Reed's family, according to this deputy and DSU President Dan Ennis, has been notified of the news, which I can't believe because I haven't heard anything. And basically they're saying the death happened during the university's scheduled centennial celebration, forcing for it to be canceled. 2025, if you're going to tell me that a lynching took place and they're trying to call it a suicide, I'm not fucking buying it. And the fact that it happened right after multiple HBCUs and black colleges were targeted, and this is in Mississippi, where we all know what the fuck goes down in Mississippi, I will not be quiet. I will not. And I am so tired of people like Dean Withers getting on here crying and getting on here saying that black people are targeted in retaliation when we've done nothing. This is crazy, and I need y'all to share this and talk about it more because it cannot slide under the radar. It just fucking can't.
A black man was found hanging from a tree in Cleveland, Mississippi at Delta State University. His name was Trey Reed, and he was a 21-year-old college student. And the university police are saying from their initial reports that it looks like it was a self-termination and that there was no foul play, right? Mind you, they don't have the coroner's report yet, so they don't know 100%. Those are the facts of the story. Now, the speculation and all the other stuff is, and there's a video that was circulating, but I believe the family asked for it to be taken down out of respect for Trey Reed and for them during their time of mourning. And there are different people who are saying that this man looked like his legs were broken. He looked like he was beaten, like black and blue. I believe there's a video out there of his cousin saying that he looks like he was beaten. It looks like they're trying to hide something. All of that is speculation, right? But here's my thoughts and opinions on it. As morbid and as tragic and as horrible as self-termination is, I hope that it was self-termination, because if it was, that is straightforward, that is cut and dry. That family can mourn their family member without all the extra stuff, right? However, if this was a group termination done by these people, and I was going to say, like, oh, it's done in the South, so I'm automatically going to give it a side eye. But with the state of the U.S. right now, it could be done anywhere. Black person, rope and tree, I immediately am giving it a side eye. And to me, I'm like, why wasn't it done? Like, you never know the thoughts of a person going through that, right? Like, I know mine because I've been there. But, like, why was it not at their house or something like that or whatever? You don't really know the details of that. But if it was a group of doing that, then that's going to amplify the craziness that's going on, and that family is going to be pulled into something that they shouldn't be pulled into. Now, that's just speculation. This could just be a self-termination. There are no other details. We don't have the coroner's report. We don't have the full investigative report. So just something to be aware of with all the crazy shit that's happening. It's only fucking Monday. But just something to be aware of. If I find more information, I'll let y'all know. But y'all let me know in those comments. What do y'all think is happening?
I'm seriously starting to believe there may not be any saving this country. It may be too far gone. Fuck! Shit's getting weird in the United States. It's getting bad. They hung a black man in a tree today. I worry that if we keep waiting to leave, the doors will be closed to us if we wait too long. And I personally, I think I have to start packing my shit, man. Like, I don't want to feel forced into leaving my own country because the quality of life here and potentially the future is not worth staying for. I fucking hate that. I don't want to abandon the cause. I don't want to abandon my family. I don't want to abandon my friends. Like, fuck, my family, my grandma and grandpa are 80. They raised me. They're not going anywhere. I don't know what the fuck to do. It literally feels like I have to leave my own country at this point. We are watching hellish shit happen. And it's we're going towards a civil war.
Family, after the death of Charlie Kirk, we saw many people trying to fix it and saying that this must be a lefty who murdered Charlie Kirk. And family, after they noticed that the real perpetrator was Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old young man from Washington in Utah, they stopped, with the narrative they were pushing, including a death sentence, to the murderer. And family, it's funny. It's actually shocking, the fact that right now we are seeing black people getting murdered, in their college. And fam, that is very, very weird. And people are asking a lot of questions because number one, these in fact can be confirmed to be black young man being murdered, because how would somebody with a broken leg be able to climb on a tree and execute his own murder, through suicide? Doesn't make any sense. People are asking a lot of questions. They need answers. And the fact that this is coming after the week, that Charlie Kirk died, just sparks a lot of conversation. What is happening in Mississippi? We understand that the state of Mississippi has had many cases, of racism. But the fact that we are seeing these hangings in timings just after the murder of Charlie Kirk brings about a lot of questions. Is it revenge? Did black people push the agenda, for Charlie Kirk? They didn't. That wasn't a black issue. That was a white on white gun violence. It wasn't any black person linked to the murder. Right now, when we see this happening to black people in a college, it just brings up a lot of questions. What is really happening? Who is targeting black young men right now? What did they do wrong? The other guy is a middle-aged homeless person. He's also fined under the very same mysterious circumstance like that of Trey Reed. What is happening? What have black men done? What don't we know as a people? Why isn't this being given, an opportunity to be aired, in the American media today? We saw how much the issue of Charlie Kirk was posted online. We saw lots of media cover it. We saw the president talk about it. We saw senators, we saw governors, mayors talk about the murder of Charlie Kirk. Right now, we are not seeing these people talk about, the murder of Trey Reed. Why is that? What is the difference between them? That just sparks a lot of conversation. And a lot of people are worried and fearing for their lives. Imagine if that can happen to a black person in a college. Just imagine somebody outside the streets, what their chances are, with them dying. This is happening in a college. Tell me how a person with a broken leg would be able to climb a tree. That just sparks a lot of conversation. Funny enough, the police have already said that this was a suicide issue. They've not given time to investigate this issue so well. The fact that the media is not pushing this issue also sparks, a lot of worries, and people would want to know why is it that this is not being aired like any other news in America. This has gotten lesser, traction compared to what happened in the previous week. And that just sparks a lot of conversations, not because it's a black or white issue, but the fact that this hasn't been given the same energy the other was given. That just brings up a lot of questions. The 21-year-old Trey Reed was found hanging on a tree, at Delta State University in Mississippi. So far, there is no news coverage or less news coverage, and the government officials have not come out to speak so far. They are saying there is no foul played, yet his legs are found broken. This is a foul play. There's no way they'll say that there is no foul there, because how would somebody climb a tree with their legs broken? Just imagine. How would somebody do that? We cannot climb trees with our hands alone. We need our legs. How did Trey Reed, 21-year-old young man, climb the tree? Doesn't make any sense logically. Doesn't make any sense. Mississippi is, however, known for its racism. And this is one thing that Americans must just talk about. And we must make this clear. This is not self-inflicted. In any way, this is not self-inflicted. That one we must agree, because we already have said that there's no way you can climb a tree with your legs broken. This is clearly a foul play. People believe he was lynched, by white supremacists. Police immediately said it was suicide. They haven't given much time to even investigate the matter. We should be asking a lot of questions. Where are the CCTV cameras in the school? How did the guy reach, wherever the body was found hanging? What was his movement, during the day? A few hours, a few minutes, a few seconds before the actual tragedy. What happened? Did we see him walk alone, limping? What happened? We need to see these footages, the thing that is being hidden right here. Another black man was also found hanging in Mississippi, hours apart. The closeness in time and place has people asking many questions. Why is it that two young men are hanging in different locations in the same state with just a division of hours? Just little time different. What does this tell us? What is happening? What don't we know as a people? What have black men done wrong in the state of Mississippi? Why is this happening a week after the death of Charlie Kirk? Family, there is a link right here between, and many people are having a lot of questions. Why is the media not covering this issue? And how would a guy whose leg is broken hang himself on a tree? These two questions are something that most people are questioning and asking the question time and again. We need to know the answers, because this is unfair. This should not be happening in 2025. We do not celebrate any person losing their lives, and we must, rightful investigation should be done for this issue to be gotten from its very roots, because this is unfair and this is not how humanity should be living. There's no way humans will be dying like flies in very weird circumstances. People need answers, and we hope to hear clarity. We need to see coverage of these very news soon. So family, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this whole issue. For me, I find it so mysterious, and we need answers, fam. Like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users. Lastly, I'd highly appreciate if you all took your time to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Goodbye for now. Peace.